Was that professional or what? Okay. Y'all got to tell me what you think of that stuff. So that just comes with the streaming software that I'm using now. And it's got like overlays and stuff. Did it build suspense? Did you feel like, oh my God, I can't wait for this thing to start? Or was it just like, why isn't this thing starting? What the hell is going on? Let me know. Tell me if I sound good. I had to make some adjustments to in before copyright strikes. Actually, what's cool about this thing is that it's all like royalty free. It's all like embedded in the thing. So anyway, do verify the voice for me. Make sure that you can hear me okay. Make sure I'm not too soft or too loud. Let me know where you're from as you're coming in. What country are you from? What's the state? What's the province? What's your social security number? Just kidding. Definitely don't tell me that. Yeah. I'm actually really experimenting with the different things that Restream offers. I'm very happy with the software. Super awesome. We got people from Germany. We got Windsor, Canada. Where else? I was just in Ireland, and that's why I got this awesome Guinness shirt on that I got from there. Oh, so good. I can tell you all about it. We got London, UK. Where else? We got Sweden. Guinness shirt. Guess Ireland was great. So when I took my wife, she was like, this exceeded my expectations. And I was hyping it like crazy. So I was very happy to hear that. We had such a good time. What a beautiful country. I 100% recommend everybody goes to Ireland. Doesn't matter where you're from. Check it out. Beautiful people, beautiful landscapes. Such a good time. Galway, I think, is one of my favorite cities on planet Earth. So awesome. We got Sweden. We got Finland. We've got Ontario. We got Sweden. Again. We got Vancouver. We got good old Austin, Texas. We got Switzerland. We got the Netherlands. We have Poland. Oh my goodness. We got Southern Cal, where the summers are hot and the will to live is hotter, meaning it is on fire, meaning it is dying. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. I hope you have some water to cool yourself down. We got Cincinnati, Ohio. We got Norway. We got Canton, Georgia. We got another Ontario, California, though. Romania, Dallas. Ooh, I'm going to see if I can pronounce this guy. Not this one, Wisconsin. I can pronounce that one. This one, Yakima, Washington. Yeah? Yeah. We got Hola Farzad, ¿cómo estás? República Dominicana en la casa. Awesome. Qué bien. We went to the Dominican Republic, actually, for our honeymoon. Love that place. Anyway, come on in. I do want to cover some topics today, obviously. We got people from Iraq. That's freaking awesome. We got Iowa, the land of the corn people, the Hawkeyes, the corn people. Who's better, Nebraska or Iowa? Biased question, right? England, Portland. Look at this. I love you guys so much. I literally have. I remember when I was on. I was speaking to someone and somebody mentioned. I think it was Tesla Herbert. He mentioned that when he goes on the streams, he notices how the viewership is from all over the world, and it truly is. So thank you guys so much. Tuning in from all over the world, listening to this weird thing that we got going on here. Love you guys so much, man. We got people from Joburg. We got people from Kansas, people from Tennessee. We got people from Tel Aviv. We got people from Mars, Norway, France. Look at that. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Good show for you guys today. Obviously, in the title, we're going to talk about Q2 coming up here. It's the 29th of June. We have the, I have to click on this. Uranus. Haha. Can anybody get this reference? Oh, hey, Mark. Is it, oh, hi, Mark? That's amazing. And everybody knows that, I almost gave it away. I gave it away. It's the room. Anyway, let's actually get started, yeah? Q2 coming on for Tesla. In the comments, do let me know what you guys think is going to be the delivery number for this quarter. I think there's a lot of special circumstances going on with this quarter. Obviously, Shanghai shut down. Everybody knows about this stuff, right? But I think what's curious is lately we've been getting some noise on Twitter. And I don't know if you guys have been following this from your end. Let me pull up our boy Gary Black here. Gary Black. The biggest savage on to finance Tesla. Let's share our screen. Let's see if we can know how to do this on here. Do confirm for me that you can see the screen on your end. I think I'm going to do this view. This view might be better. Yeah, it is. See how professional these transitions are? I'm not doing this. The Restream thing's doing it. I'm not doing it. It's doing it. Don't give me too much credit. If true that Tesla Austin is not producing several thousand Model Ys per week, that's above my forecast of 1,000 per week for 2Q, which is 2.7 a week for 3Q, and then 4K a week for 4Q. So, did you guys hear about that? And do you guys think that it's going to hit Q2 numbers here anytime soon? Because you would think if they're actually producing thousands of Model Ys per week, you would think they would have ramped up to that number, right? Or is it just a sudden thing that has happened? Curious to hear y'all's thoughts on that. But yeah, and here's an article from Electrek that talks about it. So what's interesting about that, and let me see if I know how to do this. If I close this, oh my God, I'm such a professional. I'm terrible at this, just please. Anyway, I'm curious to see how the supposed ramp that's going on in Austin is going to impact Q2. A lot of people, especially within the Tesla circles, are not very optimistic that this upcoming quarter 2 is going to be nearly as good as Q1. If you guys remember, Q1 was about, I think, 308,000 cars delivered. Q4 was 325, if I remember correctly, or 309, I'm sorry. Do correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But there is a lot of commentary around Q2 not being nearly as good as Q1 because of the Shanghai lockdowns, because of the supply chain shortages. But we're basically 3 days away from the report coming out. It's usually Tesla comes out, the second day in the morning they report deliveries. So I'm curious to see if those 250,000, 255,000 sort of consensus figures within the Tesla community do come true. I think there is an opportunity for Tesla to beat. And somebody mentioned in the comments here that one of the reasons why Tesla could have been Elon's missing right now is because he's helping to deliver cars, right? And I think that happened before we started the stream, so I lost the comment. So I'm sorry if I don't give you a shout out there, my friend. But somebody did mention that that's why Elon's missing right now from Twitter, is because he's doing a lot of work right now to get Q2 deliveries out. That could be. I think that I don't know if he's personally actually delivering cars, but he could be sort of working the background to ensure that as many cars as humanly possible get out the door. I think that's super realistic. And really the question becomes, are we going to, what is the number that's going to cause a surprise, right? Is the number 255? Is the number 275? Is the number 300,000? What's being priced into the stock market right now, right? Not investment advice, but what is being priced into the stock market right now? Let me know what you guys think. We have invested against the grain. My boy Nick, how's it going, brother? 275,000 delivery surprise. I would agree. I think anything that's over, I feel like anything over 260 is probably going to be a surprise, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about that. And so 255 priced in, okay. We got Suran, my apologies, 300,000 to surprise. That's a high number, man. What is the street saying right now for deliveries? So what's the consensus? 280? I know it's been coming down, but 280, 285? But I still feel like that's high. I could be wrong. 262 surprise? Or that's what you expect there, Rick? Let me know. Do let me know. Now, the one thing this thing doesn't do very well is I click on the comments, but then they move quick. Look at you guys being all interactive in the comment section. Thank you for that. It's so freaking awesome. I've been wrong 100% of the time when I try to figure out what was already priced in. Normally, what I think is already priced in takes another 2 weeks to be priced in. Okay, so what you're telling us is we should go off of what you're saying, and then do the opposite. So what do you think is going to happen? Let us know. Rob Maurer has good insights too on deliveries. What is Rob saying? Rob's usually pretty damn good on this. You know who's also really good on deliveries? Troy Teslike. If you guys don't follow him on Twitter, follow him on Twitter. He's usually very close to being right. And I forget what he publicly said, what the delivery target is. If you're a member of his Patreon, he kind of gives you the information first. And I don't want to sort of, I'm a Patreon member, so I don't want to leak the information that he's reserving for folks that pay him for that information. So, but I think publicly he may have said like 245 or something like that. But I could be wrong. I think Troy's like 251. I think you're right. Yeah, right. When is Master Plan Part 3? That should. My prediction is that Master Plan Part 3 is going to come out when the investor meeting happens, which should be what, August 4th, if I remember correctly, or August 5th. I think that's when Master Plan Part 3 is going to be released. In my opinion, I could be 100% wrong. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen here for Q2. I really do think 255 to 260 is most likely the number that's going to come out. I think anything above 260 will likely be a positive surprise. What I'm worried about though is if the Wall Street estimates don't come down from the 280 that we were at before, and say Tesla posts a 270 delivery number, that's going to be a pretty significant beat in my eyes based on where the community has been at from a prediction standpoint. But if the headlines are Tesla misses, what is that going to do to this? Is that going to do anything to the stock? Or is that already priced in? You know? Looks like current consensus is 266. Cool. So it's come down quite a bit. Okay. I mean, I think 266 is legit. I really do think so. Algos will freak. Discount, right? Algos will freak. Yeah, I agree. I think you know, we all know that algos are usually go off of headlines, which is sort of a weird thing, to be completely honest. But I think it will make some movements if that 266 number is not hit. My son just bought his second Tesla on Sunday. He did not have a trade-in. His credit rating is over 800, and they moved him up in line by 30 days. The process was 20 minutes. Okay, so it looks like supply is starting to maybe catch up to that backlog a little bit. So that's encouraging for Q3. So obviously this is one data point. But that's interesting. But so did they move him up in line because of his credit score, or did they move him up in line because they would just have more cars available to sell? And if you don't mind me asking, what Tesla did he get? Did he get a Model Y? Did he get a Model 3? Because that might be helpful, especially with the news that the Model Y long range out of Austin has become a spec, and apparently that's what's enabling them to go to multiple thousand per week. So it's going to be interesting to see that. Yeah. Let's see. This is an interesting question. Here's the thought experiment. When do you think the algos are going to have an exception for Tesla that narrows the price arbitrage that we've all been exploiting? Oh, man. I mean, that's the $1 million question, right? I think as long as Elon Musk is part of that company, the potential of that company will be higher than what people think it is, because just of how unique Elon is from a leadership perspective, and just how much surprise upside there could be with him on board, if that makes any sense. Let me know if that makes sense. But I think as long as Elon is part of the company, I don't think people will really truly price in Tesla's actual potential, because they usually undermine the markets. I feel like underprice Elon because Elon is such a visionary, forward-looking person, and markets have a really hard time pricing anything past three freaking months. You know, so when you have someone that's laying out the groundwork and the bricks that are designed to like flourish in 1 to 2 years time, you're always going to have that sort of gap. Let me know what you think about that. But I'm firmly in that camp. As long as Elon's in the company, they're going to have a hard time. Drop your estimates for a Q2 in the chat below. And then whoever wins gets 17 tests. I'm just kidding. Whoever wins gets bragging rights on Saturday. How about that? Or if Yashu was here, they would get some juju. My estimates, based on other people's numbers, between 252 and 260. Yeah, I think that's kind of where my head's at too. We got Curious at 248. Oh, wow. We got Eunice at 230. That's low. That's low. Let us know why you think that's the number. Seems low. But who knows? You could be dead on. Hello, sir. Hello, Barry. Welcome back, my friend. We got 269, 420. Okay. That is entirely possible. And part of me hopes that is why Elon has been missing, because he needs to make sure that the delivery number is 269, 420. Oh my goodness, that would be incredible. 278. That's a quite a big number there, but not impossible. 252, 561 on the dot. Screenshot this. All right, people. Anthony James, somebody snip this right now. And if he's right, what does he get if he's right? What's our friend Anthony going to get if he's right? 263, 270. Yeah, 260. So we are getting folks all over the board here, it looks like. You know? Yeah, 260, 248. I feel like anything under 250 is sort of bearish outlook for the quarter. And anything like between 250 and 255 is sort of like neutral. And anything above 255 is bullish, just based on the comments that I'm seeing come through. What do you guys think about that? 500,000. Totally. Brian, psh. Just give him the prize now. Come on. I think Elon has been on the floor working. He very well could have been. He very well could have been. 261. What's going on with the Twitter deal? Elon will close it. So that's one of the sort of assumptions here, is that's why Elon's sort of been missing from Twitter, is that he's probably under some sort of NDA right now, potentially, as he's closing the deal. And maybe the part of the NDA is just get the fuck off Twitter while we finished. I doubt it. But, I mean, he has a lot going on his plate. You got a Q2 that needs to hit a certain number, I think, for investors to not freak out. And then you got the Twitter deal happening. He's getting the data sets from Twitter. He could be hard at work with his data teams, really figuring out what the bot situation, and he's just, put his nose to the book and trying to figure that out so he can close that deal as quickly as humanly possible. That could very well be part of it. 254. Cool. Yeah. I do like the sort of ranges that are being put in chat here. My guess is I'm going to say 257. 257, 250. I'm going to write that down. 257, 250. Boom. Q2 number. I feel like that's a tiny bit aggressive. I was at probably closer to 254 this morning until I saw those reports about Model Y potentially getting to multiple thousand a week out of Austin, but I could be wrong. 275. 270. I like your T-shirt. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good estimate. Thank you. I did look into the future, and I'm like, you know what? This is the number. Obviously, this is impossible to guess, but we got Paco at 272. Quick question. This thing has background music. Should I keep it on? What do you think? You hear that? Hey, you hear that? Should I keep it on? Should I turn it off? What do you think? There's like all these like different features with this thing that I'm finding out, and I'm like, I feel like such a professional. I'm like the biggest fraud on the streaming game. I'm trying to hype myself up a little bit here with some music. Somebody said I don't hear it. Let me turn it up a little bit. There's like different styles. Thank you. That's funny. Actually, I think I'm going to keep it off for now because I do talk a lot, unfortunately for you. So maybe we'll like keep it on and off. We'll kind of do like a little bit of both. We'll keep it on. We could keep it off. I do want to keep it in the background though if I do have it on. Did we just get transported to an elevator? You know what? I think they actually have elevator music. They have like a lounge. I guess, does that count as a elevator? It's so silly. Anyway, back to business, y'all. Come on now. I think Sandy Monroe got a hold of the 4680 battery as well lately here. So I'm curious to see what sort of reporting is going to come out of that. What I'm super curious to hear about that battery is once he gets his hands on it is like how quickly are they going to be able to really ramp that battery based on what they say? Is it really optimized for ramping making as many batteries as humanly possible? You know, what are the pieces that are actually in that cell that Sandy has or the cars have that are allowing Tesla to really get to that like 2 million, 3 million, 4 million cars a year? Because the 4680, from my understanding, is that it's meant to be a high volume cell, right? So let's see what he comes out with. We've got a question here, and anytime you have any questions about anything, just drop them in the chat. I love going through the comments and sort of answering as many questions as I can. So please do drop them in the chat. I'm thinking about just posting an invite link in the chat to the stream, and then whoever has a camera, my only requirement is if you have a camera and this decent audio, just come on and ask a couple of questions. What do you think about that idea? Let's just freaking have some fun with this thing. Can they offer different pack sizes for Cybertruck instead of just with different trims? Hold on. Can they offer different pack sizes for Cybertruck instead of just with different trims? Like wheels or paints, range anxiety with Cybertruck will be the biggest factor for average Joe truck owner. So you're saying like, can you somehow like say I want like the higher trim with the smaller battery? I don't think Tesla will ever do that because it increases the complexity of the line. So the best way I think to make the production line as efficient as humanly possible is if you make it so that you pair certain pieces with another piece so that you minimize the complexity of that car. So for them to really get the Cybertruck cost as low as humanly possible, if anything, I don't think it's going to be any more like customizable than say a Model 3 or Model Y or even Model S and X for that matter, buy thing. You know, like when you go custom order it, it's going to be the same. It's going to be what wheels do you want? What battery pack size do you want? Do you want full self-driving? Cool. Otherwise, any customization is going to eat into their ability to keep the cost of the car low. And Tesla's really their huge thing is like, I need to get the cost of the car as low as humanly possible so we can really advance the advent of sustainable transport. So I don't see that happening, unfortunately. We got people saying, yes, drop the link, invite link. Okay, so I'm going to drop an invite link in the chat for just random people to join to ask a question or two. Okay, my only requirement is that you have a video camera so I can see your face. You have decent audio so I can hear your question. And of course, keep it civil, right? Let's not go crazy. It's just an experiment. We do crazy stuff. This is the Tesla way. We just try something and see what happens. So here's the link. Okay. Let's see who comes on. And I can't check and see who's got a camera on. Okay, so come on with a question. And then we'll address your question live, and then after it's answered, we'll go to the next person and see how many people join. I think there's a limit to the thing. I think I can only have like 4 people on at the same time or something. So let's see what happens. Good luck, everybody. Where do you get great T-shirts? Oh, I get them all over the place. Oh, our first guest. Look who it is. Look who it is. What's up, bro? How's it going, brother? I can't hear you, dude. Oh, hold on. Is your mic on? Hold on. Do I have to unmute you somehow? Oh, this is going great so far. Can you hear me? You can hear... I can't... I have to unmute you? Oh. You're unmuted. I don't hear anything from your end. Yeah. Anyway, check it. Let's bring in Jedi here, or Jeff rather. Sorry, Jedi. Jeff, say something.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, good to talk to you too, my friend. All right, what's your question, brother?
Do you think because we can't make enough EVs that EV conversions are going to become a big thing? I'm thinking about converting my tractor as well as an older Nissan pickup truck to an EV. I was thinking that might become more of a thing, especially with gas prices the way they are.
That's a really good question.
I'll pop out here.
No, it's all good. No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Great question. I already like this format, by the way. This is like, I feel like I'm on a freaking talk show host or something. I think that's a really good question. I don't think that's going to happen for a really long time, only because the limiting factor to getting enough EVs out in the first place is supply. And so I think what needs to really happen first is for automakers to really get to a position where, say, that the batteries that exist in the world that can be created for whatever they want to create for their cars first exceeds those cars, and then they'll work to retrofit existing cars. And I think the cost to retrofit an existing car is going to be much higher than creating an EV from scratch, because you really have to think about how it changes the dynamic of the car, right? If you have a car that's built with a gas engine and a drivetrain and stuff, that's going to cause a lot of problems with like how the weight shifts and a lot of safety sort of variables that are part of that equation. So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen for a while. Did you fix it? I still can't hear you. That's funny. All right. We have another person, Rich, waiting in the docks here. Rich, I can't see your camera. Let's see. Are you there? Oh, we got somebody here with a camera here. TJ, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How you doing, brother?
Doing great. All right, I got to turn down my volume so I don't get feedback. So my
No problem.
question
Go
was
for it.
around mining. So, Elon's talked a lot about mining and the supply chain and going totally vertical and doing lithium mining. What do you think they're going to announce coming up on that front?
Yeah, really good question. I did a video not too long ago about how I thought Master Plan Part 3 was going to be primarily around mining, because if you really think about, the sort of guidance from Elon was, okay, we need to get to mass supply, like massive scale. Okay, so what do you need to be at a massive scale? You need a massive metric ton of batteries, right? So what do you need to make batteries? The raw materials. And there appears to be sort of a bottleneck of how many raw materials exist in the world. And one of the things that Tesla does really well, I feel like, is to really find places that have bottlenecks and then relieving those bottlenecks through innovation and technology. So I do think, now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there were some comments recently from Elon that he didn't really want Tesla to get into the mining game directly. I think I read that somewhere. But I still think there is sort of a door that's left open. And we talked about this on our Friday community forum last week, where there might be a situation where they create a sort of a contract with a miner of some sort, or some sort of a company where they get the rights to essentially capture, say, 80% plus of the supply that they would create from a raw material perspective, with the intention of over time allowing that miner to diversify their portfolio as Tesla and the industry grows. Because what the miner doesn't want is to be 100% beholden on Tesla to buy their product, and then Tesla in 5 years is like, you know what, we're cool, we're going to create our own mine, buy, and then that freaking company's screwed, right? So I think there has to be some sort of variable with the mining aspect. Maybe Tesla doesn't get directly involved in mining, but I do think they're going to ink some pretty sizable deals with a lot of raw material, like the chemical companies, essentially the miners, to make that stuff happen. So let me know if that answered your question.
It does. I mean, I think they've been working on all those deals in the background, but they also announced a while back that they had this contract for lithium sands in Nevada. And there were rumors that they were going to like truck that or train it down to Austin and like refine it in Austin. And then I think Elon said they would ship the sand back after they extract the lithium. I don't know if you heard anything about that moving forward, or they're just going to do contracts and not get into it first person. Yeah,
I haven't actually heard anything about that. I mean, that you bring up a good point that they've somehow, like, they already sort of alluded to this at a previous time, but yeah, I do think Master Plan Part 3 is going to answer all those questions. And I do think it's going to happen at or around the yearly investor meeting. So this one's going to be on August 4th or 5th. I forget the exact date, but I think all our questions are going to be answered then. And if not, I bet you someone's going to ask that question, because that's going to be like, okay, cool, you're talking about 20 million cars a year. How? Like, what's the plan here? So I would say Master Plan Part 3 is going to answer all those questions for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Farzad, and greetings from downtown Austin. Peace.
Awesome, man. Greetings from Austin. Take it easy, brother. Bye. Cool. All right, I really like this random question thing. So if anyone else has the cojones to come on, let me know. Here's the link. Thank you all for joining so far. Look at this. Gary, what is this, bro? $20 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Regarding volumes as a hodler, hold on for dear lifer, for those that don't know that shorthand. I'm more concerned with annual and 12-month forward numbers for estimating 3-year leaps. So what do y'all think of 1.5 million for the year and 2 million in 12 months? I use 1/1000th of volumes as my Tesla price baseline. Great question. I honestly don't have any opinion. I mean, I think it makes sense. I do think 2 million in the next 12 months seems reasonable, just given the growth trajectory of the company. But what do y'all think? In the comment section, what do you guys think of Gary? And thank you so much for the super chat, man. That was super generous. Thank you, brother. Amazing. All right, we got another guest here. Oh man, I'm gonna try to pronounce your name. Hold on. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Bareldin?
Yes, Bahreddin.
Oh,
So how
Bareldin. Okay.
how you doing, Farzad? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. I'm from Olympia, Washington.
Awesome.
So yeah, so I have a kind of question is or wondering, when you go outside, most Teslas basically they look the same, and this kind of dilemma when Elon Musk basically present his the Cybertruck, which is I have one ordered basically. He said all the truck looks the same. So imagine when the all like the production goes up to 20 million between Model 3 and Model Ys, and all basically they all look the same with the little difference of colors and maybe wraps and stuff. It's not gonna be basically like just boring. The design limitations, especially from outside looking.
So you're kind of concerned that it's just because all the cars look the same that less people are going to want to buy them because they're like they can't. No, if you're going to get the bigger trim, right?
Not just since basically people buying it is not a concern for now. But when you need like a smaller car, bigger car, kind of van, it look like just a little bit different looking for, like just you need to basically to look different than other Teslas. It's not for most, like there is especially in America, we love our cars to be kind of a little bit to have our touch in it.
Sure. Yeah.
So
I mean, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. So I think that's a good point. I mean, I think that's one thing that I do hear from folks, especially like people that haven't owned a Tesla for like they're not super familiar with the Tesla. I had literally a friend not too long ago say, I would get like a Model S Plaid, but like I can't tell the difference between a Plaid and like a freaking base model. Like I want it to be a little cooler, I want the little vent grills and the little things on the side. And I'm like, I get it. I think that could change as Tesla's production capabilities allow for more complexity. Because the one thing that I think is important to keep in mind is that Tesla are super focused right now on cranking out as many cars as humanly possible. And in order to do that is to make it as simple to build as humanly possible, right? And I think there is a very direct correlation between those two things. Because I mean, you can think about like, okay, so even if you're adding a thing on the side that changes the chrome, or you add sort of a different grille, which requires a different fascia, that's still complexity. It seems small, but it's still complexity. And the more complexity you offer, the less cars you can build in the long term. So maybe what could happen is, say once Tesla reaches their goal of, I don't know, 20 million cars a year or 10 million cars a year, maybe at that point they'll find that there needs to be a demand lever where they have to create differentiation, so making that sort of those cars look different so more people are willing to buy it. But if, right now they have a year backlog with, they're making a million 1.5 cars per year, there's still a year-long wait time. They're not even trying to market. If anything, they're anti-marketing because they're freaking raising their prices so freaking high. So they're trying to like stop people from buying their cars. So under that scenario, it doesn't make a lot of sense for them to try and create differentiation. But I think if they do get the point, again, where they need to push more cars out the door and sell more cars, then at that point, I think your point becomes very valid, and then it becomes a demand lever. So yeah, that's how I think about it.
All right. Thank you for the answering my question, and good luck. And since you're basically the day you launch, I'm following you. So
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, brother.
Keep the good job. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate you. Awesome. Look at this. I love putting names to a face. So much positivity here. I love it. Mike, how you doing, my friend? Uh-oh. Is Mike there? I think Mike's lagging. Mike, are you there? Is everything okay? It tells me your network connection is a 0 out of 10. So maybe maybe it's the Wi-Fi on your side. Try saying a couple words. Let's see if we can hear you. In the comment section, let me know if you can hear Mike. I can't hear Mike on my end. We got a mic with a yeah. Let's give Mike a few minutes here. Hopefully he gets his connection back, and then we'll bring him back in. Yeah, Mike, try disconnecting and reconnecting. He needs Starlink. I love it. Okay. Thank you guys so much, man. I love interacting with the community. I really think we're building something special in this channel. The one thing that I noticed when I was talking to all the people like in my community, especially the folks that have joined my Patreon and my YouTube, we have our private Discord. Like they always say, you know, I have such a hard time finding people near me where I can just nerd out on Tesla like crazy for like hours. And they're finding this channel a good way to sort of connect with other people that are willing to sit down for hours on end and talk about Tesla and its possibilities and stuff. And so if I'm a person that can offer that sort of platform for people, love it. Wolverine, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, my friend. Tip jar, pass it around, y'all. Thank you. You guys are so sweet, man. I love you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Oh my God, we got Alexandra in the house. You are the best, Farzad. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're the best. If you guys haven't seen, we had an interview a couple weeks ago. We talked about some of the craziness with ESG stuff that has been happening. Definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. Alexandra is like one of the smartest people I've ever met. Ever. And she's so nice. New subscriber. This is my first live stream. Love it. Thank you so much, Esco. Appreciate you guys. Really appreciate you guys. If you guys want to come on and ask me questions, here's the link. Enjoy. You have to have your camera on and decent audio. Those are my only requirements. And to just keep it civil, you know? Just keep it civil. So. Oh, shut up. I'm being serious. I love your energy. Thank you, guys. You guys are just too sweet. Too sweet. Thank you. Are you still holding? Oh yeah, I'm holding strong. Holding real hard. For sure. Oh, we got Mike. Sorry, my connection is bad. No problem, man. So we got Mike's question here in the chat. Do you see there being bailouts from the U.S. government when the legacy automakers go bankrupt, and how will that affect Tesla? That's a great question, and I think 100% there will be. Unfortunately. And the reason why I said unfortunately is because in the case of, say, GM already got bailed out back in 2008. And GM looks to be the least, their positioning is awful right now compared to everybody else. They seem to be, they're not fit to, from what I see, even though, listen, I know Mary Barra is the greatest CEO of all time, and she's led us through this incredible EV transition, and she led. And it matters, but how many EVs are you selling right now? Right? The Hummer is a great car. I think the Hummer is freaking cool as hell. I almost said a bad word. I think the Hummer is a super cool car. The electric one. I really do. But 10,000 cars a year ain't going to cut it. Where is the rest of your volume at? You can't have Ford with a Mach-E that's trying to sell 50 to 100,000 cars a year. Volkswagen that's probably going to sell 500,000 globally here pretty soon. Like, what are you doing? So within that respect, I think unless the United States puts in a bailout package to try and get, like, if with the assumption that Ford and GM, Stellantis, whoever, go out of business or are bankrupt, say within the next 2 years, unless they do some sort of bailout, I think there's going to be way too many job losses. And it's unfortunate because I do think it's a company's fault for not being prepared. Like the bell has been ringing for like the last 10 years, ever since really Tesla launched. So like, why are you in this situation? You know, who knows? Ford might turn it around. They're definitely doing the right things. They are separating their electric division from the ICE division with the Ford Blue thing and the Ford Green or whatever. That's in preparation to offload the ICE part of the business for in preparation for the electric. You know, and then they'll probably take that off the books, sell the assets once the right time comes, and then they'll use the electric part of the business as the new Ford or whatever. So, yeah, that's going to be a tough one to swallow, I think, if you're an American taxpayer. But if they don't do that, I think they're going to have a tough time doing it. Please respond to this. I just did. Wondering if you could also put the link to Tesla Boomer Mama's video on ESG into the chat. Hell yeah. Let's do that right now. Thank you guys so much. 450 people. I think this is a new record. You know what I would love? If you just... Okay, I have a banner for this. Check this out. Watch this. Wow. Damn. So professional. Here, watch this. I'm having too much fun right now. This should be illegal. All right. Let's go find... Can you tell I had a good time in Ireland? I'm like refreshed. I'm so refreshed. All right. How do we do this? I still don't know how to work technology, apparently. So I did a interview with Alexandra. Where is Nicholas? You're right. Where is Nicholas? Nicholas, come back. Come back, bro. We had you on. I just posted the link in the chat. The interview between myself and Alexandra, aka Tesla Boomer Mama. It's very eye-opening. It kind of exposes the craziness of ESG. And oh my God, we have a celebrity in the house.
Oh yeah, you shut up.
We have a celebrity in the house. How's it going? Good to see you.
Do I have to cut the sound, or do you hear me in double now?
I think I hear you okay. Chat, let us know if you can hear Alexandra okay. I'm gonna bring in somebody else, and we're gonna answer the question together. What do you think?
Oh my God, I just wanted to give you a kiss. That's all there was.
Okay, right here. Thank you. Great to see you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
See you soon.
Bye-bye. Appreciate you
Bye.
stopping by. Thank you.
That's all there was.
The best people ever in the Tesla community. We got Nick in the house from Australia. How's it going, my friend?
Yeah, my sound's not working, so sorry.
Okay, I can hear
I'm
you.
under a street light. I'm out walking in the forest.
Okay.
And I just got a question for you. I can't hear you, but it looks like you can hear me, so thanks for taking it. With the whole Twitter deal and the bots, and you being a data man, if you were called into the team to have a look and see if you could figure it out, or if you could put your hand up now and help figure it out, would you go and join the team to sort out the bots?
Oh man,
I'll go hang out because there's traffic here, but I'll listen in on the YouTube. Thanks, guys.
Sounds great. Thank you very much. Thank you for your question. Please be careful. It looks dark out there. I don't want you getting attacked by like a random Australian kangaroo, I guess. I don't know. I think they have dangerous animals. Oh man. So the question was, if I was called to like help them work on the data stuff at Twitter because I have a data background, would I do it? I think they have better people equipped than me to do that, to be completely honest. I think it requires a level of like almost like societal intelligence, because you really think about the sort of craziness that happens with bots and spam and the type of people that would want to do something like that are trying to change like the discourse and culture and stuff. So I don't even think I would be equipped to even be near enough qualified to do it. But if they ask me, hell yeah, of course. That's like a crazy opportunity, right? Now I would say like, yo, 2 weeks and I'm out because I'm really enjoying this sort of freedom and talking to you guys on the live stream. But If I was asked, I would do it, but I really do think that it's not really within my wheelhouse per se, because I think it requires a certain level of a different type of skill set. But I really appreciate the question, man. Thank you very much for coming on and asking the question. Thank you. 489 people on stream, you guys. New record. My goodness. We're just breaking records here, y'all. Crazy. From Alaska, love your channel. Thank you, Michelle. We'd love to hear some information about how Tesla works in extreme cold weather, and would studded tires work on these cars? Can hardly wait for my Cybertruck. That's a really good question. So I can't talk about extreme weather. So where we had our Tesla was in Pennsylvania in the winters. And so to give you an idea, so winters is about, say, 32 Fahrenheit, average 32 to 36. So it's usually below freezing. The coldest days would be like 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and we wouldn't really need to use studded tires where we were at. Snow tires would work perfectly fine. We would get like 6-inch snow, maybe sometimes 10 inches of snow on the ground, but it would navigate it no problem, from what I found. Battery degradation, we had a Model S 75D. On really cold days, we lost up to like 35% of our battery. However, the bigger your battery is, the less of a problem that is. And depending what your charging situation is like, if you have a charger at home, it's a non-issue. It really is not a non-issue, because it's rare that you're going to have to drive more than, say, 200 miles a day, at least for me. I don't know what kind of situation you have. So what I would think about is how many miles would you have to drive on, like, say, 95% of situations. And if you have a charger at home and it's, say, less than 200 miles, literal non-issue, in my opinion. If anybody has any other sort of feedback in the comments, do drop it down. I think that's an excellent question, and really good for us to know a little bit more about in cold weather. And somebody did say that Teslas are very popular in Norway. Norway is a pretty freaking cold place. So, yeah. All right, we got another person. Salar? I'm so sorry. How do you pronounce your name?
Salar. I'm a fellow Iranian.
I was going to say, how you doing, my friend? Welcome.
Good, how are you?
Good, man.
Good watching your videos. You've been doing amazing.
Thank you so much.
It's fun to watch. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So I've had this idea that Tesla should have parking and charging structures that's like powered by FSD, where you just leave your car and it just goes and charges for a bit, and then goes and parks. And it needs like less space because they can be like Tetris style, like just managed like software, like space efficient parking structure that you just leave your car, it goes, charges up to a percentage, and then goes and parks on a higher floor, and then you just say when you're going to grab it and it comes down for you.
Yeah.
I know it's like Tesla hasn't talked about this, but especially needed for robotaxis, where like they need to go to cleaned and charged for use again. And I don't really know how to like voice this opinion or like bring it up to someone who can like discuss it within the company. So I'm just saying it here. What do you think? And,
I was going to say right here is a good place to do it. Twitter exactly. Too, like, sending him a Twitter or something.
It's the first time I'm seeing you do this. I'm like, I'll just go ask Farzad.
I appreciate that, man. I think that's a really good idea. I do think it's probably been talked about already, and it's probably been talked about for a long time internally. I just think the bottleneck is going to be, well, first they have to like release full self-driving first, like the actual finalized version. And I think what you'll start to see, sorry, go ahead.
So I was thinking if like there's an entrance where past that entrance there's no humans, it's really easy because there's no unexpected things. It's exactly it could be that up to a point you can have humans. After that point it's only cars or Tesla employees. So like it should be easier than FSD because there's no moving elements, unknown moving elements.
I mean, that's not a bad idea, to be honest. I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. It makes the most sense in probably areas where space is at a premium, and you have a lot of Tesla. So like California, like the big city centers in California, right? San Fran, LA, San Diego, like anywhere where you have a lot of Teslas. I think that makes a lot of sense. That's a good idea. I think what the question becomes. Yeah, go ahead.
I just think of a future where like I can't wait for it, where like all the cars are out of the streets and like not parked even in the streets, and these self-driving cars go park themselves like in a parking garage, and like the streets are emptier. We have more room to have parks or more space overall in the city. So like the faster we push towards that future where like parking is like kind of like easy, you just leave your car so it's out of sight, it just goes in a multi-level parking structure that's very compact and like fits a lot of Teslas, because it can be programmed perfectly. It doesn't even need to be using its vision, honestly.
I could see them trialing that in the like very dense city centers. I really could see them doing that, but I really do think, just for the sake of timing and whatever they're working on right now, it's probably going to be on a lower priority, because they're like, well, we should have enough land in most of these areas to just expand the supercharger network. But when it gets to a point where you have, like 10 million Teslas being sold a year or 20 million Teslas being sold a year, at that point, the density of charging becomes a bigger deal. And I think at that point, you'll start seeing that happen. So I think it's a great idea. It's just going to be a matter of like, where is it on the priority list, essentially. So, yeah. Awesome.
That's the other thing I've realized with Tesla, where it's only the highest priority things that get attention. And then it seems like because Elon's involved in all of them and he has some level of bandwidth.
Some of them. Yeah.
Like,
some of them.
There's no room for like the lower priority things.
But
good to put it out there. If anyone has a way to
Twitter is your best bet. Twitter, get people to retweet it. Tag me in it, I'll retweet it. And then hopefully we'll get more people to retweet it. Thank you, brother.
All right, man.
Thank you for coming in. Take it easy, brother. Bye. Look at this. We're just meeting people from all over the place. What a beautiful place this is. Awesome. All right. Let me post that link again. If you want to join and ask a question, let us know. You can ask it in person. I'll give you priority. I just ask that you have your video on and some decent audio. You guys like the format? I have somebody saying that they love the format. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Sander. You're the man. What do you think the stock price does after earnings in July? I can't tell you, because if I told you, I'm going to have to kill you. I'm just kidding, obviously. Oh my God, I hope the YouTube algorithm is like, oh my God, someone's trying to murder somebody. I don't know. I have no idea. I think a lot of the sort of recessionary fears, we're going to have to watch macro very closely. I think it's going to be very macro dependent. And then you're going to have a situation where you're going to have to compare it to other earnings coming out too. And like, if folks are saying, well, that there's a definite downturn, is that going to affect Tesla? So it's impossible to say, to be completely honest. So thoughts on numerous car companies competing for raw materials. Do you think U.S. government will step in to assist Ford and GM to tip the scales to level playing SpaceX future space mining? Yeah, space mining is probably going to be way off. To be honest, this is probably going to be like a 10 at the soonest, like super soonest time frame. I do think if it becomes obvious that Tesla has too much of an advantage, I think the government will step in and try to somehow level the playing field, for sure. For sure. In some way or another. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. But I don't think SpaceX is really going to do much with mining for a while. Oh my God, Jeff. $20 super chat. Thank you so much. So generous. Thank you. From Grapevine, Texas. We'll pay money to hang out with awesome and super smart people. Love you, Farzad. Oh my goodness. You're so sweet. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you so much. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm seeing some comments in the comment section where people are really enjoying the format. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's my priority, is really becoming for me is what can I do more to involve the community so that. And this was all born out of my time at TeslaCon and Giga Texas, where I had been at the company for over 4 years, super big fan of the company, obviously, was an investor for a long time. And like I noticed, like when we were all together under one roof, like there was magic. People were like, oh my God, I finally get a chance to like nerd out with this stuff with other people that I can talk to in depth about this stuff. And so I think the Tesla community is filled with incredibly amazing, super kind, super smart people, and all of us have shared experience. So what can I do to try and like help us get together a little bit more? Especially in a world right now that's kind of divided in a way. How can we use our connections to come together a little bit more? DK, what's up, my friend?
Hey, how are you, Farhas?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing? You're good, bro.
Good. It's good to see you, brother. Always
good to see you too.
Being a fan. I do have one question. Of course, I'm a big Tesla bull actually, and I own a lot of shares. And of course, I have a Tesla as well. So I got FSD full version beta, and I noticed, of course, I let try itself many times. But I see that when it's time to make a right turn, navigation can see is right turn, but Tesla still decide to go on a left first, and the last minute make a right actually, right?
Yeah.
And so of course I reported many time. Do you think that they'll come up with like we can type the comment as well? They're making the same mistake. Of course, it's until the update, it's gonna happen. But many times it's really simple. Like I try to show off with my friend as well. Many friends, I try to sell the Tesla as much as I can. And I say, hey, this is the FSD, working fine and great and everything. And some goofy happen, of course I had to take over at the main time. So simple road, make a right turn actually, go on the left and decide make right last minute to right turn actually. So small stuff. Do you think that they would have eventually we can send a message to them and say, hey, something
For sure. There's actually I don't know if you knew this, there's a way to report bugs but with your voice commands too. So if you hit your voice command and say report bug, so you hit the thing and it goes boop and you go report bug, car tries to make a right turn but it goes to the left lane and then it just sends it to them. I don't know if it'll actually work, but I do think I think right now we're in this place, and again, I don't work for the FSD team, I don't freaking know, but I think what's happening is the neural nets are getting to a point, I think they're probably close to solving all these like weird things, but all it requires is as much data as humanly possible, and there could be like data sets that are somehow conflicting or something, and it doesn't have enough confidence to know that what it's showing in the screen is actually what it should be doing in some way, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think, I think continuing to add the data sets is important, but I do think over time, if they become a little bit smarter about how people can log like weird behavior, it's only going to be better data sets that they're going to be able to leverage. You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense to me. That makes a lot of sense to me. And I could see them doing that. It's just the question becomes, is that going to be, they'll probably do it once it becomes obvious to them that it's a limiting factor to them to take the next step. But I could totally see them doing that. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah, that's got to be silly. Like you're showing it off, and it's like, what the hell is it doing? I've had that happen to me. Yeah,
and absolutely. I think I refer 6 different people at and every time somebody asks I take my time to show them all the features and everything actually. So I absolutely love it actually, and I love Elon actually as well. So absolutely. But thank you,
awesome,
for letting me in.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for stepping in. Thank you. Appreciate it. Awesome. DK has been part of the channel for a while. I love it. All right. Let me post the link again. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. Oh my God, we've been on for like freaking an hour? Time flies when you're talking to people about stuff you like talking about. I saw somebody else pop in for a second and they left. I hope you didn't get scared. I'm sorry, did I scare you? We'll be ending with some guitar at some point. Maybe in the next, who knows, time. I'm having a lot of fun right now, so we're going to keep doing it. That link that I just posted, if you want to jump on and ask your question in person, all I require is that you have your camera on and decent audio. Thank you. Thoughts on when Master Plan Part 3 will be unveiled? My guess is the investors meeting or around that time. Oh, the Supreme Message. Good question. So for those of you guys that don't know, I was on Tom's channel. When was I on Tom's channel? Monday? Tuesday? Friday of last week? I can't remember. It feels like forever ago. And I discussed Palantir with another somebody who was had experience with the software. And I was kind of skeptical of what the thing was. So the question is, so what your final thoughts on Palantir, and are you bullish, bearish, or the same since Tom Nash show? So that's a very good question. So for me the really the thing when it comes to Palantir is that it's obvious that they have a really good product, but in the world of tech and software, unless you create separation between yourself and the competition, you're going to have a really hard time capturing the market share you need before a competitor comes and takes your pie, right? And so even though Palantir might have a platform that's do it all incredible, it's like an OS for your business and you can do everything on it, that's great. But what's stopping something like a Snowflake or a Microsoft or an Azure, whoever, name a company, name a software brand, okay? What's stopping them from putting in 20% of the effort that Palantir did and providing 80% of the value, and then all of a sudden they take all your market share because Palantir doesn't feel like investing in a sales team? And because it's so technical in nature, you need to be able to communicate effectively what your company does. And so I don't care how good your product is, if you're not able to market yourself appropriately in that space, you're not going to have a good future, right? So then the question becomes, when are you going to show signs that you're actually willing to scale your business by investing in resources to actually explain to everybody what the hell it is your thing does? And it's unfortunate that it doesn't have a similar sort of thing as Tesla, as an example, where Tesla is a company that benefits from people actually knowing what it does because they can touch it and feel it. Palantir is very technical in nature. So I'm bullish on the product. I'm bearish on their approach of go-to-market. So we'll see. Let me know if that answered your question, but we'll see. But CodeStrap did a great job explaining all this stuff. You know? He did a really good job explaining why the software is super good. So, yeah, about a week ago. I think it was on Friday of last week, actually. So, we got somebody else on. Let's see. Bastien, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, President. I'm good. What about you?
I'm doing great, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I had a question that's a kind of a theory I developed, and well, I don't know. I started thinking about it because a lot of people are speculating why Elon Musk is buying Twitter, and I was wondering, because they are training the bot with the computer, with the simulator, and they're training the bot to all these physical tasks, but at some point they want the bot to interact with people. And I was wondering if buying Twitter, I hope you hear me well.
Yeah.
I was wondering if buying Twitter was not a way to get access to a lot of human interaction in order to train the bot to interact with human being in a way.
Yeah. I think that's a really interesting take, and I think I agree with you. Because if you really think about what's Tesla's long-term potential is to be not just they create cars, they create robots, they create all these hardware things, but they're investing a lot of time on software. They're investing a lot of time in AI. And if you are going to have a bot that's going to interface with a human being, it's probably not a good idea to leverage data sets that really allow you to kind of see how human beings behave. Now, Twitter is a freaking shit show.
Exactly. Yeah, I was thinking the same, but they might assign a team to search for things more relevant. I don't know. That was just a thinking. I wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think at the same time, too, I think it's its own AI problem, too, because I think Elon's looking at it as a form of ensuring civilization doesn't collapse, because really crappy discourse is a fast way for all of us to become. That's why we have so much conflict in our discourse right now, is because, of places where social media platforms that potentially create some wedges, or they promote things a certain way, or they ban people and they don't ban people, right? So I think it's a way of securing the future of humanity, and maybe we can learn some lessons from that and then teach it to the bot and say, this is how you make sure humans are a good, don't fight them, just help them, So that's a great idea. I think it's going to be super interesting to watch. Great thought.
Yeah, let's see. I guess we'll have to wait and see,
We'll wait and see. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yep. Have a good evening, afternoon.
You too, man. Take
Bye.
it easy. Enjoy your run.
Thanks.
Bye. All right. We got another guy. John. How's it going, John? Uh-oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You may have to unmute. I don't know if there's a little microphone button on your screen. You might have to check. Or you may have to select the proper mic input from your end. We'll give John a couple minutes here, see if he can sort out his audio. I'm going to post up a question here. What is the best lesson from Tesla for legacy OEMs? Oh boy, that's a super loaded question. I think culture is by far the most important. Just allow your teams to really give them the keys to the company and empower them to make the right decisions for the company, and never skimp on hiring the best talent. That is really the core thing that you need in place in order to have a company as good as Tesla. John, how's your mic? Nope, still can't hear you. Sorry. You may try shutting down the restream, and then make sure you have your microphone selected on the audio thing, and then come back in and then select that microphone, and then I'll pull you back in. Sound good? Cool. All right. We'll let John figure out his audio stuff, and we'll bring him back in. Awesome. How's everybody doing today? We'll give John a few minutes to come in. We're an hour and 7 minutes in. 400 viewers. Thank you all so much. This has been so fun. Are you having fun? I'm having fun. Look, we even got background music. Look at that. Yeah. We're having too much fun. Too much fun. Oh, wait. We haven't done this in a while, too. Ready? Wow. So professional. My goodness. What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? Thoughts on Tesla layoffs? Actually, I just made a video about this yesterday. I think it's proof that Tesla's culture is alive and well, because they are not skimping on ensuring that the culture of the company remains around people that are super invested in ensuring that the company moves forward as fast as humanly possible. Especially with like COVID and the way that they're sort of growing. I think there were some organizational errors where they just had people where they shouldn't have, and layoffs are just part of the beast that is running a successful business. So to me, it's just a sign that they're doing all the right things to ensure the culture remains super strong. And there's nothing worse than having a company filled with super talented people where they can't get stuff done. So I think it's a positive. I'm very bullish on it. Elevator music, yes. All right, we got John back. John, how's your mic?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, sir.
Okay, I have two
What you got?
questions. Hopefully they're not too dumb.
Oh, of course they're not. Come on. Let's hear them.
How important is Tesla to get into battery recycling, if you think that's important?
Do I think it's important for Tesla to get into battery recycling?
Yes.
I don't know if the company itself will, because so JB Straubel, he used to work for the company. He was like the battery guru and basically started the company with Elon. He has already started his battery recycling company called Redwood Materials. So I think it's much more likely for Elon and Redwood to partner up and just funnel all the batteries over to JB. And since they've worked together for so long, I view Redwood as just an extension of Tesla, really. And so they kind of already have like a recycling company. And I'll be curious to see over time if Tesla decides to just buy Redwood and make that part of their company. So I do think that they have their that figured out. But yeah. And you said you had another quick question. So
yes, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yes, and do you think the 25K vehicle will ever come out, or just for the robotaxi size, and that's it? They'll keep their Model 3, Model Y, and keep bettering those vehicles, and just use the more compact vehicle for robotaxi?
Yeah, that's a good question. I do think it's going to be two different cars. So the way I think about the 25, it's probably going to be like 32,000 because of inflation. Who knows, right? I don't know if it's still going to be 25, but I do think that's two separate. In my opinion, I could be 100% wrong. So, but I do think it's two different cars. I think the robotaxi is going to be geared as a super affordable transportation system in countries or areas where full self-driving is super allowed. Say the United States becomes really friendly, and they've already kind of shown they have friendly legislation towards FSD type technology, autonomous driving. I think the road taxi is going to do really well in those regions, and they're going to gear that to that. But then I think in places like, say, Europe, where they're sort of not as bullish about full self-driving technology, and they're super restrictive, parts of South America, Africa, Asia, where the infrastructure isn't really there for a full self-driving car to really be a viable solution for, say, 5 to 10 years. If you want to get to 20 million cars per year, I don't see how Tesla gets there unless they introduce that cheaper model, that $25,000 car, because the robotaxi alone is not going to get them there. I could be 100% wrong. How I'm thinking about this, but I really do think it's two separate products. And somebody that actually implanted that thing in my brain, I don't know if you know of Dave Lee. He has his own YouTube channel as well, and he does a lot of Tesla-related stuff. He's the one that kind of put that seed in my brain. I'm like, dude, that makes so much sense. So if they want to get to 20 million cars a year, I don't see how they do that without that $25,000 car. So let me know if that answers your question.
Thank you, man, for answering that. Great.
You got it, brother.
You're doing great. Keep it up.
Thank you so much. Peace out. Look at me, peace out, like as if I'm some sort of cool guy or something. Donald, how's it going, my friend?
Hi. How you doing?
Welcome. Good, man. How you doing?
Good. I have a couple of questions here. Well, kind of a couple, but it's a couple of observations and then a question for you.
Sure.
First of all, during the part 3 of the Owners Club interview with Elon, he was talking about a bunch of auto labeler people that were working for him, right? And they had tools with them. It isn't just like 300 or 400 or 500 auto label people. They're multiplied by 1,000 because they have tools, right? So now instead of like 500 people, it's like 500,000 people working on the auto labeling and all that other stuff. Now, we have all these news articles about layoffs and stuff like that. But just recently, there was one about the auto labeling team getting like cut in half, or, like 350 people down to 100 or something like that. So I'm kind of thinking that everyone's, and I've been seeing it in the chat too sometimes, I think they actually multiplied them even further. Instead of each person is like 1,000 people, maybe they're like 100,000 people.
Or 100,000. Sure.
Yeah, whatever,
Sure.
And I just want, and like this might be implying that Dojo is coming online, and or they just don't need to pay a couple of hundred more people because they're nearing the corner, right? So I'm just kind of getting a feel for how you think this is going to, if this is actually what's going on, instead, because a lot of news is portraying these layoffs of not more,
very negative, right?
It's not 10%. It's like, what, 60% of this group, right? And people are going, what the heck? Are they woke people, or are they just not needed anymore because Dojo is doing their job so much better than they are,
Sure. Yeah. No, that's a great question. I really do think that. So the one article that I did read about those layoffs specifically to the auto labeler team, and I could be wrong, but I think they had 1,500 auto labelers or labeling people. They laid off like 200 or something. So theoretically, still not a huge percentage, but regardless of what the number is, I think if you are letting go of people, you're reducing the size of your labeling team. That to me signals that the automated solutions are getting really, really, really good, right? There's no other reason why you would shrink the size of that team when it's the number one priority of your company to get full self-driving out the door this year, unless you're confident that the people you have plus the automated solutions that you have are actually working. Tesla doesn't seem like the... Yeah, go ahead.
I see someone in the chat saying Dojo and auto labeler are not related. Is that...
I believe so. Yeah, I think they're two different things. I think the auto labeler is something that essentially labels, and I believe then that gets put into Dojo, and then Dojo uses that data to improve the neural nets.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. But
yeah, it's two different things.
The tools that the auto labeler people are using isn't necessarily Dojo based.
That's correct.
Whatever based, but they're probably a lot more efficient now rather than in the interview saying that each person is 1,000 to 1. They're like 10,000 to 1, and you don't need so many people.
But that would improve, right? So within that same context of what you're talking about, if they are really shrinking the size of the team, it's doing exactly what you're saying, is that they're getting more power out of those tools. Whatever they have going on from an AI automation perspective, theoretically, it's helping them do more work. And so those extra heads that they have are likely redundant, and they're not helping in any way to make those data sets more useful.
So the story, the news story implying it's a bad thing is actually probably an awesome thing, because
I believe so. It sucks for the people being laid off, obviously. Like it sucks for the people. Yeah. And I know, and of course I know you don't mean that, right? So I think but I do think when it comes to the context of Tesla getting closer to full self-driving, I do think is a major positive.
And
I think it's a major positive. I believe so.
They're laying off so many people from this group. Not a good sign for the individual people, but for the possibility of FSD, as he said in the interview, is coming this year.
Right. They're making advancements. They're making advancements. And I've long had the belief that, with Karpathy going on sabbatical and Elon taking on Twitter, that means that they have things in place, I think they have things in place.
Where the heck is he?
Sabbatical. He's chilling. He's on the beach.
It's been 4.5 months now.
Yeah.
Come on. One back.
He's been at it hard, man. Whatever he needs. My thing is however long he needs to take to get his to whatever he needs to do. And the one thing to keep in mind too, sabbaticals are often tied to learning new skills as well. So he's probably just learning how to approach problems differently as well. Maybe for the next generation, maybe he's getting ready for Tesla Bot, because that's going to be a crazy thing that's going to be coming down the pike. So yeah, a lot of different variables. But thank you so much for stopping in, man. Appreciate your questions.
Farzad, everyone in chat, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate you. So cool to meet you guys in person, man. The coolest thing. All right, let's do one more round of folks that want to stop in. And then we'll end it with some guitar. Should we do this caption again? Oh my God, look at how professional this is. Wow. Should we do it with music in the background? We're having too much fun right now. Guys, come on. Professional. Sheesh. All right. One more round of folks that want to step in and ask questions live. I'll definitely prioritize your question, because you have the stones, per se, to come on and be vulnerable in front of 397 people. Look at that. Karpathy coming back next month by my calculations. Yeah. I think that's a legitimate estimation. He's coming back soon. When do you think Tesla's going to become CHOAM? 15 years or sooner? So for those that are not familiar, CHOAM is I think it's from Dune. It's an everything company, basically. Like, they do everything. I think if Tesla does become a CHOAM type, or COAM, probably CHOAM, becomes a do everything company, it's probably not going to be until so the bot has to be fully ramped, the transportation stuff has to be fully ramped, energy generation has to be fully ramped, AGI has to be fully ramped. Minimum 20 years, right? Minimum 20 years. But they have the capability. I mean, they're going to have all the talent and all the supply chain to do it. It's within the outcome of it's within the realm of possibility for that to happen, right? And so the question becomes, will it actually happen? What's the percentage chance? I'm just here to feast my eyes on some Farzad. Wow. Well, isn't that the nicest comment ever? Thank you. My goodness. Same here. Thank you. Look at how sweet you guys are. My goodness. You guys are awesome. Oh man, that's so funny. Will they make other vehicles with the GigaPress besides Cybertruck? Robotaxi might make sense. I think anything that, GigaPress is really going to be what? It's customized to creating single piece castings, right? And so you would think that any vehicle from now on that Tesla produces is going to have some sort of single piece casting, or it's going to have some sort of like thing where it's going to be one piece and you just meld them together and you go, right? So I think so. I think they're going to use single piece gigapresses for all their cars at some point. Yeah. We have 420 viewers and it's 4:20 Central Time, guys. Oh my goodness! Can you believe it? I just realized the view count on this thing is off. We have 444 people watching. You guys, how amazing is this? I love the interactive format. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was my priority to get everybody as involved as humanly possible. It really was. All right, let's give it 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. I'm going to post the link one more time. If you guys want to come on and ask questions live, that's the link. My only requirement is you have a camera on and decent audio so people can hear your question. And then after we go through that, we'll play some guitar. Now, the one thing that I have to solve for is that the stream, it doesn't sync the desktop audio and my guitar well. So what we'll do is we'll do some riffs. We'll do a guess the riff game, but we'll do the Metallica discography. I'm going to play a riff from each album, and you have to guess what song and album it's from. Wow. So if you're a Metallica fan, you have kind of a leg up here. I'm a huge Metallica fan. Anthony, super chat, $5. Thank you so much. I'm only 21, so I'm excited to own Tesla, 100x possible return. Good for you, man. Good that you're getting in, you're learning about investing in stocks at your age. I started investing when I was 24. So good for you, man. Your shirt is dope. I want to get one. I got mine in Ireland, but I'm pretty sure you can buy it anywhere. Question. If Andre leaves Tesla, would that be the worst news? I think the worst news would be if the entire leadership people leave because Elon has lost it or something, right? I think it would definitely damper the mood a little bit because he's I think he's a pretty crucial part of that team, honestly. And he's obviously a very forward-thinking person when it comes to AI and full self-driving and stuff. But I just don't think that's going to happen. But if it does happen, I'm pretty sure Elon has somebody else in the wings to take over. You know, that team is stacked. It's so stacked. So stacked. Any chance we might do some Pink Floyd someday? I think so. I've been trying to diversify my my riff pocket. You know, and I have a lot of them. It's just the thing I counter with YouTube is that if I don't, Metallica is the only one that YouTube doesn't hate. And so usually what ends up happening is if I play a couple of times that has happened where I would play something from another band and then I will get like copyright striked. And then they're like, yo, like you don't do this. I'm like, okay, sorry. I'm just playing a riff, bro. So Metallica so far, Metallica really, I think they learned from the Napster thing a little bit. That they allow the creators to play their music, which is awesome. Very, very cool. Diversify my music portfolio. That's right. That's right. That's right. Why don't we have other people in the spotlight instead of Elon? Steve Jobs had Tim Cook, Phil Schiller, Craig Federighi, and more. Yeah, I think they do. If you go on the earnings calls, they do feature quite a few different folks in those calls. You know, I don't think it's just Elon anymore. I think it's a lot of folks. And they should, because they're freaking stacked with talent. So I think it's already happened. It's just that Elon is such a gravitational force that it's impossible for all the attention to go to him. You know? But I do think they feature other people. I do think so. There was somebody asking a question here about Tesla insurance. I joined late, so ignore if I already discussed. Thoughts on Tesla insurance? Will it meaningfully contribute this year? I see potential for a lot of synergy with FSD. It hasn't been asked. Well, if it was asked and I didn't click on it, I do apologize, but I don't believe it was asked, or I didn't click on it anyway. I think that probably has the potential to surprise next year. I don't think that's going to have any impact this year, but I think sometime next year we're going to see some impact from that, for sure. We'll see. And yeah, Tesla calls this have CFO, yes, but next in kin. Yeah, that's the one thing. That's the one sort of criticism that has been thrown at Tesla and Elon, which I agree with, is that Elon hasn't quite yet named the successor, but if he does, I think he's like damned if he does, because if he does name a successor, like, yeah, cool, you have a plan, but does that imply you're going to leave soon? And so the people are going to freak out. I don't think a successor is put in place until Elon decides to leave, which I don't think is going to be for a bit. So that's how I think about that. There's just a lot of implications with Elon just naming somebody, you know? Elon is a supermassive black hole. Just sucks everything up. Adam, hat off to Farzad from the Swede in Dayton, Ohio. Great format, fun content, and a way for regular viewers to get a voice 10 out of 10. Thank you. That's my goal. My goal is to give the microphone that I have to as many people as humanly possible in a way that is productive and brings value. Right? That is what I'm really trying to do as hard as humanly possible. And that's what we really started building with our Patreon and our YouTube Discord that we have, where members of the channel, we have a private Discord, and then we have these community forums on Friday where my Patreon supporters come on and we talk for 2 hours together and talk about their ideas. And that's been a very successful way of really throwing stuff around and really thinking about topics. And so with these live streams, if I can give a little bit more a platform for people to ask questions, come on and ask questions, then I would love to do that as well. Okay, one more minute, and then we'll do some Tesla, some guitar. Here, last chance. I think we've exhausted all our brave people for today to come on and ask questions. Last chance. If you have a question and you'd like to ask it live, I have a link right there. You can click on it. My only requirement is a camera so I can see you, and decent audio so I can hear you, and that everybody can see you or hear you. How good is 2023 going to be for Tesla? I just keep looking ahead to all of the catalysts. It's going to be freaking nuts. You think about a Berlin factory, Austin factory, that are going to be in the process of ramping to full. They're probably going to be 60 to 80% ramped by then. You have a Shanghai that's probably going to have expanded capacity. You're going to have a Fremont that's going to be expanded capacity. You're probably going to have a couple different gigafactories that are going to be announced. A lot of stuff happening in 2023, y'all. We got one more person. Nitesh.
Hey, can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir, I can.
Awesome.
How you doing?
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Good. Yeah. I'm up here in Canada.
Nice. Is it cold? Yeah. I'm just kidding.
No, nice and sunny. Yes. Get that a lot. Yeah.
What's up?
So I was just wondering, Elon mentioned 2024 dedicated robotaxi. I was just wondering if there was any implication there that the Model 3, Model Y wouldn't make it to robotaxi status, or is it just that will be more optimized for carrying people around?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. I think it's what you said. I think they're planning on creating some sort of thing that could carry 6 to 8 people, 10 people in a very space efficient manner with the most amount of efficiency humanly possible from a drivetrain perspective and a battery perspective. This is not going to be a thing that's going to go 0 to 60 in freaking 3 seconds. It's going to be like a slow go. It might. Who knows? That would be a Tesla thing to do. You're in a freaking little van and you're going a million miles an hour, right? But I do think it's going to be very purpose built. I think it's going to be a solution from the sounds of it. When I spoke to Corey from Monroe, he kind of spoke about how this could be a solution for like cities and densely populated areas where you can have a high density transportation system that can take you from place to place. And then the Model 3 and the Y could still be equipped with full self-driving, but that's just a sort of a separate use case where people that own the cars that don't want to drive around, or they want to rent it out for people to just use that as a transportation system. It's going to be less efficient, but at least you're expanding the fleet when it comes to more self-driving cars out there on the road. So, I think that's what it's going to look like.
Okay.
By then,
and I think the average drive is like 1.2 people or something. So like, what's the optimal seating for a robotaxi? Like
exactly.
2-seater or 4-seater?
Yeah, I think when I spoke to Corey from Monroe, he said like 6. He thinks 6 or 8. I forget what he said exactly. More than 4. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how people sort of adopt that because I think people love their cars, especially in the States, right? People love their cars and they freaking love. I don't know if to say. I think it's probably similar in Canada, but it's like 1, 2 people.
Average, but
Yeah, but like people love the privacy, so it's curious to see how it goes. My whole thing is like I think cost is going to be the driving factor, and if you have a robotaxi that can carry 6 people, and that thing costs freaking 10 cents a mile or 20 cents a mile, then you've just opened the door massively for folks that are struggling day to day to pay their bills, and now you've removed that freaking variable of having a super expensive car and fuel to pay for, and you can get around for pennies on the dollar, which gives you more purchasing power. I think that is the equation that Tesla's really going to solve with the robotaxi.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good to meet you.
Thank you so much, man. Good to meet you too. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. We had one more person on, but they ran away. Where did you go? I want to post it one more time in case we want to get one more question in. But yeah. I think that's a super good question. I think that's a super good question that was just asked. I really do think it comes down to how are they thinking about the robotaxi and how are they thinking about leveraging the existing fleet of Model 3s and Ys to also be part of that fleet, because they're 2 different use cases. You need to get some tracks that aren't the guitar and lay them down behind you so that you can lay down the sick guitarist and we can hear the rest of the song at the same time. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll just like improvise to some music using the pentatonic scale because that's the only thing I know how to use when I solo. Yeah. All right. I'm going to start setting up the guitar. If somebody else jumps on, I'll answer your question. And then after that, we'll play some riffs. This is how it's going to work. I'm going to play some riffs from the Metallica discography. I picked a riff from every single one of the albums that they've made. And I may have practiced some of them before this to make sure they don't sound like total garbage. And your goal is to guess what the song and album is. And if you get it right, you get absolutely nothing. So, there you go. All right, we got another person in. I can't see them, though. Let's see. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, Farzad.
Hello. Do you have a camera?
Yes, I do.
Can you turn it on?
Just trying to turn it on, but you can't see me.
I don't know if it's very dark in your room. It's just black.
No, it's not. Can you hear me?
I can hear you though. We'll let the camera one pass for this one. All right, go ahead. Let's hear the question.
Let me see. Yeah, my camera doesn't.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, my question is for that. With the prices, Tesla stock prices right now, do you think it's a good idea to go on margin, like 100%?
Yeah, I can't give you that advice because I have no idea. I don't have any sort of. I'm not an investing expert at all. I can only say that I've made decisions for myself to invest in the stock from my end. I think that's ultimately a decision that you have to make, and it really comes down to how comfortable are you with taking on risk, and how confident are you in the company doing really well in the future, right? That's impossible for me to answer that question, unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, thank you. I mean, I'm glad my camera didn't work. It's
that's a bummer.
I'm clicking on camera and not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't.
Maybe for next time.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Thank you. Sure.
Take it easy, man. Thank you very much. All right. Okay. Guitar time. Let me plug in. Okay. I got to switch my headphones, so give me 1 second. Yeah? I have this setup here where I use these cans. What? Oh, it's plugged in. That's why. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Okay. I'm going to switch my headphones over. And so, again, the game here is Guess That Riff, but it's Metallica. And maybe what we'll do is we'll do like a special. Oh, we got one more person. Look at that.
It's Guess That Riff.
We got Marky. Oh, I just heard myself say Metallica.
We'll do like,
you may have to mute the speaker on your end so I don't get feedback. But yeah, can you hear me? I guess you couldn't.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. How you doing? You may have to mute the speaker on your. You want to go ahead and ask your question?
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a long-term Tesla bull. I've done a deep dive into Tesla and also into Bitcoin, and I've for a long time I felt that Elon is a champion sandbagger, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he's trying to create a support for the retail investor.
Mm-hmm.
In your mind, is that correct? That he's trying to create an opportunity for
yeah,
everyone.
I don't know if he's necessarily. So I agree that he's very good at sandbagging, but when it comes to certain things, and I think it's something that he's learned to do lately. You know, if you follow Elon from say like 5-6 years ago, he was the opposite of a sandbagger. He was like a overpromise, underdeliver kind of guy because he was really so eager to get the technology right. But I think what's happened lately is that he sort of understood how the market perceives and expects what he does, and he's done really well at managing like expectations. And so one way of one proof of that is when he says we're going to grow 50% year over year, and then they freaking grew 85% year over year last year. And when he said Q4, we're not going to do that, you know, we're not going to go crazy to. Oh, it looks like we're getting some sound issues. Hold on, let me turn off my amp here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I think I solved my feedback problem. Let me know if you can hear me okay in the chat there. Sorry, guys. Can you hear me okay, Marky?
Loud and clear.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So so I think he's become pretty good at really managing expectations from that perspective. I don't know if he's really forcing. I don't know if he's really doing that, again, with the intention of looking out for the retail investor. I just think that he just approaches stuff really logically nowadays, and he's very good at managing expectations. I think what it really comes down to is that Elon, the way he approaches Tesla and the company, he's always going to make it so that the company is as valuable and as useful as humanly possible in the long term. And that just so happens to be very rare in the world of investing, that it could create a lot of outsized gains, in my opinion. This is not investment advice, obviously. This is just how I think about the company. So, yeah.
He has, obviously, in a recent interview with the Tesla owners, it was a few days ago, there was an interview, and he was saying how the Austin factory is and Berlin are burning billions of dollars.
Sure.
And technically, yes, of course, they're spending lots of money trying to ramp up, but the way he's saying it as though he wants the media to jump on that and turn it into inviting that, you know? But
yeah,
for anyone who's done the research into the fundamentals of Tesla, they know that that's laughable.
Right. Yeah. I think, but it's also a true statement. You know, like if you really think about it, he's thinking about it in the long term. He's like, if Austin and Berlin were to continue cranking out 1,000 cars a week for a year, we're gonna burn billions of dollars. That's a true statement, you know. But it's interesting that he chooses to make that statement versus saying, oh, we're ramping up to be extremely profitable. He chose to say we're burning a lot of money.
Absolutely.
So I could see that point. Yeah, I think that's part of that managing the expectations, you know? He just learned how to manage the freaking expectations so that when Austin's at freaking 5,000 cars a week and it's like outsized profits in relation to Fremont and Shanghai, people are going to be like, oh my God, we never saw this coming. And Elon's like, ha ha ha. You know? So I could definitely see that. But that's a great question. I do agree with the sentiment that Elon has become really good at sandbagging as of late with anything that's not full self-driving, because he's sucked at that. I'll tell you that. He's been really bad at managing expectations for that. But great question, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
No, thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Great playing. I'm looking forward to listening to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Awesome. Sorry, guys, for the feedback. It's just, the rock and roll life, you guys. It's, oh, my God. Sometimes you're going to have feedback. John, bro, $20 super chat. So sweet. Thank you so much. Enjoy your channel. You have a great style. Thank you, John. Thank you. I dig your avatar there with the American flag and the bald eagle. Freedom, baby. Freedom. Okay. Guess that riff. If you jump on while I play, I'm not going to be mad. I'll loop you in for a question. It's all about maximizing our ability to talk to each other, right? I may have to switch my audio thing, though, to make sure that I can hear you guys. Okay. Cool. Hello. I can hear myself now. This is weird. Okay. Let's put on my audio output. Oh, God. How do I work this? We'll have to figure it out. If somebody jumps on and I can't hear you, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to figure it out. Okay. So. You will hear some feedback, potentially. That you hear that? All right. Do verify for me that you can hear the guitar. Let me know if you can hear it. And let me know if you can still hear my voice and that it sounds okay. Do confirm for me. Okay. Guess that riff. So, I'm just going to play a riff. Again, it's Metallica discography. Guess the song. Guess the album. If you get it right, you get absolutely nothing. Here we go. What song is that? I'll give you guys a clue. It's from the first album. Boom. Dan. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Seek and Destroy. Kill 'Em All album. Okay. We'll say list the song and the album. List them both. Okay? Cool. Good job. You get absolutely nothing. Well done. Next song. Hold on. Let me blur this out. I don't know if you guys are having a good time. I'm having a freaking blast. I get to play guitar and you guys get to guess and we get to have a good time together. Psh. Oh my God. I love you guys so much. Should we play some music in the background too while we play? Just kidding. All right. Here we go. Next song. Ready? I need the song and the album. The song and the album. Boom. Dan, you're freaking... Dan is monopolizing this game right now. A lot of people got it, though. A lot of people got it. Nice. 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 Good job. One of my favorite riffs of all time. That's the clean version. Right? And then the heavies. Yeah, it's so heavy. It sounds so good. Good job, everybody. You got absolutely nothing. Well done. I'm going to play the hell out of that frickin' joke. And I don't care. Okay, next one. Oh, man, this is going to be a interesting one because it's, yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Ready? That's a deep cut. Somebody has the word right. Somebody has the word right in the song. But what's the song's name? What's the song's name? Oh my goodness. What are we listening to? Yes. Bingo. Some Kind of Monster. From Saint Anger. We'll just keep it to the song name. I think the album's going to be too tough. We're just getting too hardcore now, you guys. Good job. Yes. All right, next song. Here we go. Ready? Is that song? What is that song, you guys? What is that song? Right album. That's the correct album. What's the name of the song? Oh, there we go. Boom. Alex. Alex. Creeping Death. Such a nice title. Good job. Creeping Death. Well done. From the Ride the Lightning, or the Riff the Lightning album. That's funny. Okay, next song. I feel like, this microphone sounds so much better if I'm like on it like this, but like that's weird. Why would I ever do a stream like this? Who would listen to this? Okay. Here we go. Yes. Yes. Sad but true. Look at that. Good job. Well done. Good job, good job, good job. You guys get absolutely nothing. Well done. Well done. Okay. Next one. Ooh. Ooh. We'll save this for... We'll do it now. Here we go. This one's hard, so I hope I can play it. That one's hard, man. Are you guys going to get that one? No, not The Day That Never Comes. Similar. I'll give you a clue. It's from the latest album. It's from Hardwired to Self-Destruct. What's the riff? What's that song? Does anybody know the song? Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, you got it. Spit Out the Bone. Another very optimistic, nice title. Very nice. Good job, Digital. Long-time listener, long-time follower of the channel. Thank you very much. Okay, next one. How do I play it? Okay. Let's start that again. Ready? Yes. Wolverine. Beast. One of my favorite riffs, honestly. It sounds so good. Such a good song. It's Load, I believe. It is Load. Right? No, it's Reload. I think King Nothing is Reload, actually. It's so good. I had a song from... Am I missing one? Oh, well, whatever. Okay, next one. Is it Load? Okay. I always get those two confused. I never know which one's from which. I know Fuel is from Reload. Right? I could be wrong. Okay. Oh, Fuel, right? Something like that. All right, next song. So much. Boom. Master of Puppets. Great job, everybody. Such a good song. Might be their best. What do you guys think? I think that's their best song. It goes between that and One for me. But it's pretty damn good. Okay. Last one. And then we'll do a surprise riff. Play. Okay. No, I didn't mean to click on this one. This one. William, if you bring a banjo and you bring yourself a banjo, we'll do a dueling banjo. I don't know how to play banjo, but we'll figure it out. Okay, last song. Bingo. Unforgiven 3. Well job. That was an odd volume ramp and decline. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Jackson's great. Jacksons are super good. Okay. I saw a couple comments where they were sort of saying their favorite riff. I'm going to try to play a couple of them, and then we'll sign off. I saw one of this one I saw. Orion. Nice. It's so good. It's so good. Such a good riff. I agree. One of the best riffs ever. Motley Crue can rest in the 80s. I see. Okay. All right. Should we call it there? Should we do one more? One more riff? Let me see. Let me look through the comments, see if I can find one more. Ooh. How does this go? Oh. Right? Yeah. Something like that, right? And nothing else matters, of course. And I forget how the rest of it goes. Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you so much. What a freaking stream this was. I think we peaked at like 500 people or something. 480. Who cares? This is fun. Thank you so much. You hear my guitars like making weird like cat sounds. Thank you guys very much. Really appreciate you guys stopping in. Thank you so much for all the super chats, all your support, liking the channel, liking the video, your donations, your patronage, your YouTube joinage. Dude, what a freaking stream. I really enjoyed the interactive part where people were able to come on and sort of ask their questions live. I'm going to keep doing that forever. That was super freaking fun. So we're going to continue doing that. Next week, I will be away on the Wednesday, but I'll be back making content again on that Thursday. I'm going to be in Cancun, so I might do like a Cancun stream. We'll see how that plays out. But if not, these will continue from this point forward after my trip next week. Every single Wednesday, 3 o'clock Central, we're going to have these. You're going to come on, and we're going to talk to each other, and we're going to bring you on. We're going to ask questions. We're going to just discuss the topic of the day and all the other stuff. So thank you very much. Dan, $6.99 super chat. I see what you did there. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Hope you have a good holiday if you're in the States. And we'll see you on the next one. Mwah. Thank you, guys. Love you.